struggle, right? You're gonna struggle. So we're trying to get over an ex. So you're not even trying to get your ex back. You're just trying to get over an ex during separation, right? You're not gonna get over them. You will effectively be in soul tie, right? Because you're pissed off. You're either angry or you're obsessed with them. You want them back, right? It's either one of those two extremes, you know.
I think the best way to just get over an ex is just get yourself into therapy. Starts from there because right now you're confused. You don't even know what to do.
Well, you can't stop. You can't use that's the third one. Because remember, if you're not self-aware, you're gonna be one of those people that say, I don't need therapy. As a matter of fact, when she just said that, you just kicked against it. Right? Remember, I also mentioned the big old organ in your head, right? That you're carrying around, the brain. The way it works is that you can't see the forest from inside the forest. Other people are better off telling you certain things.
They will help you unpack it.
Especially if they're professional. All right, how to get over an ex during separation. Let me read this quick quote. When a marriage ends, one of the most common issues people face is how to get over love feelings during separation. Well, it's not necessarily that it ended, but it kind of ended. If you're in separation, it kind of ended, right? But maybe you're still hopeful. Something is hanging on a thread, right? The issue can be tough to deal with because it's hard for one person to just get over the other. Yes, it's easier said than done. Those ones that it's actually harder for them, they're the ones that are loudest. Nah, kick that bitch to the curb. You're lying, you're capping, okay? Let's be honest, you're capping. If you have to be that loud, you're capping, okay? People that where you want to be, if I'm guessing where you're trying to be, it's probably indifference, where it's neither here nor there, right? We're like, it's okay, didn't work out, we move, right? That's probably where you're trying to suggest you want to be, not, I don't care, I'll kick that piece of crap. In fact, I was watching another show last night,
Yeah, yes.
And this guy, I know, this is where I get them from. And this guy was talking about, they don't want some old guys. This guy got to be 55, 60, been divorced, I guess. And he's talking about, they call me controlling.
Kill me.
They call you controlling? So let me guess. They are all wrong. You're right. You're not controlling.
So he's been in multiple relationships and he's lost those relationships.
Looked like he was talking more specific about the most recent one, but he said they. He was generalizing women.
Oh, okay.
So they see him as controlling and all of these different things.
He's the common dominator, so hello. It's
No,
time to go.
they must all be wrong. You're right.
Mirror.
There's this guy called something Peterson, Jordan Peterson. I'll find a way, but he destroyed the red pill community. He said, if you hate women, they're right, you're wrong. If you hate all women, they're right, you're wrong.
Because how can everyone be against you? Like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
Even the person that is hated most in the world has someone fighting for them. It's the funny thing about life.
So, if there are children involved, it's even harder.
Yeah, it is.
So, how to get over an ex during separation, it's not easy. Especially if we're talking about marriage. Well, it's marriage if we're talking about separation, right?
It is marriage.
So, it's not easy, but it can be easy, okay? It starts with self-awareness, It starts with self-awareness. You just gotta be aware that you're human, and yes, it's hard.
Yes.
You gotta acknowledge that first. If you try to cap on that at all, it's gonna get harder, even harder. But if you engage that feeling that this is hard, then it can suddenly become even easier because now you're aware of what's going on with the human brain, that big organ you're carrying on your head. It's hard,
Very hard.
Why is it that it's hard? Because, for example, you have invested interest or vested interest. Starting with when a man goes to the altar, he means it. He didn't know what he was doing because he hasn't taken the time to understand the woman. the nature of a typical woman, right? He's just engaging. He thinks signing the paper is duty, right? And he has this expectation is set on a human being, a woman, female human being, that they approach romantic relationship as a duty. False. They don't. Even though they committed, and they probably meant when they committed, if it doesn't feel right, they will pull their plug, especially in this generation that we're in right now. And it's you can see that on the data. 70%, 75%, 76% of divorces are initiated by women. The question that has not been answered by the men's community online is that did it start with that, or there's a series of things that happen that you may just be complacent about?
Yeah, no one is asking those questions.
Right? If you don't answer that question as a second question, right, you're gonna struggle, right? You're gonna struggle. So we're trying to get over an ex. So you're not even trying to get your ex back. You're just trying to get over an ex during separation, right? You're not gonna get over them. You will effectively be in soul tie, right? Because you're pissed off. You're either angry or you're obsessed with them. You want them back, right? It's either one of those two extremes. You know?
I think the best way to just get over an ex is just get yourself into therapy. Starts from there, because right now you're confused. You don't even know what to do.
Well, you can't stop. You can't use. That's the third one, because remember, if you're not self-aware, you're gonna be one of those people that say, "I don't need therapy." As a matter of fact, when she just said that, you just kicked against it, right? Remember, I also mentioned the big old organ in your head, right? That you're carrying around, the brain. The way it works is that you can't see the forest from inside the forest. Other people are better off telling you certain things.
They will help you unpack it.
Especially if they're professionals.
Yes.
You know? So I said self-awareness. I forgot the second thing I said now. But the third thing, right? You can rewind this video and find it. The third thing is therapy. Therapy, at least some form of counseling. It could be a pastor. It's okay. If people kick against this pastor thing, I'm not really about that right now. Because I'm hearing it way too much too. So it's annoying.
I think it's based on people's experiences, so I can't even judge the people that are kicking.
So I'm not judging them too.
But you have the opportunity. You have a good pastor or someone that is a pastor that you respect.
Yes.
Feel free. By
it's
all
also
means
because of the expectations that the pastor will say something perfect. You're not going to any therapy or counseling or coaching for someone to tell you something perfect.
Or someone to empathize with you. I think sometimes people are looking for that. For people to feel sorry for them.
To be on your side?
Yeah, they are in the victim.
That's lack of self-awareness, right there.
And that does not help you. You need someone to help you get out of the funk, not help you sit in the funk.
You're going there to receive insight, not facts or truth or all this nonsense.
Like, let's bash the bitch.
Yeah, no. You want to hear their thought process about what you tell them. You want to hear other perspective about what you're going through. Because only you have the answers, but to help you process things a little bit better. That's we can't tell you your truth. We can't. I know many people try to tell you your truth, but no, we don't do that here, right? Facts, we don't need to tell you facts. You could go say facts, USA, CDC, there's a ton of them. They'll tell you the facts. But we can tell you our thought process about things, and you can add it to yours, hear other people's perspectives, and then you can come up with your own truth. Own version of the truth that's going to work for you. But if you're just stuck in your own version of truth without assessing it with the help of other people's insights, there's a good chance that you're in your own head, and it's arrogance, you know.
It is.
And that causes suffering, even further suffering. So the answer to the question is self-awareness and some counseling, you know, to get over an ex. The last part that I don't want to leave alone is you're clearly not engaged with your purpose at the level where you're supposed to be engaged. Your life mission, your purpose. If you're engaged with that, you will have very little room to be obsessed with the next.
Maybe this person doesn't know what their purpose is. How can they find out what their purpose is?
How can you find your purpose? Yeah, so it goes back to counseling, because they can help you with that. We can't tell you your purpose in this video, obviously. But you need to find it, you need to engage it. When you do that, it drains you to a point where you're not overly obsessed with purpose, and you have to kind of step back and enjoy life a little bit too. and that makes it super easy to get over an ex. Yeah, the idea of getting over an ex, this I can only relate because of this professional studies we do. Personally, it hasn't really been a big deal for me. Personally. Not at the level that I know people get obsessed with their ex. Yeah. So, and I think it was because I was overly obsessed with purpose to the point where I had to step back. Overly obsessed with purpose that I was borderline depressed. You know, in love and marriage, they're talking about that, where you are engaged with entrepreneurship, your business, and all this stuff, but you're crossing the line into depression.
And you don't know you're depressed. There's a lot of people moving around that way.
Yeah. So for me, it's the other way around, which is, you know, the business, overly engaged with that, I suppose so. But they're both the same element. You know, you're obsessed with something in a very negative way. You have to kind of step back. So engage purpose. Find your purpose, like she said. How are you gonna do that? Maybe some counseling, you know. But I would also say stay subscribed here, keep listening to this conversation.